Alright then, welcome back where we left off, guys. So last time we fought that big bad ugly thing and we bought this dude who's in the vampire over here. So now we're gonna go and continue to find familiars. Apparently there are a bunch of familiars here where we are right now. And for those of you who don't know, familiars are basically, I think, these guys who help vampires, because vampires can't roam during the day. And I was saying in the last video, doesn't this armor look like a cowboy's armor more than, I mean, a samurai's armor more than a cowboy's armor? That's really cool. I think I've forgotten the controls since last time. Huh? Okay, so... this is to dodge, right. No, this is to aim with my gun. Oh, okay.
You know the cat is right there in front of you.
Oh, shut up. I told you my sight's not recovered after the change.
Hey, so you're telling me it's not the blues?
Alright. Okay. Alright, so I can shoot the weak spots to do some damage. Okay, that's fine. Boy! That left him into chunks. Nilo, okay. So, servant gunslingers. So, these are the humans, like I said, basically. They're the guys who serve the vampires and do their bidding, so... okay, I guess I can go in here. It's dark as hell in here. So, what I thought I would do is, like, to differentiate myself from all the other gameplays out there.
Another tick wannabe. No, that's not gonna happen.
Right, so to differentiate myself from all the other gameplay videos out there, I thought I'll do a little story time from stories from my life itself, because I don't know, you guys might find it interesting. So yeah, so the first story I have for you guys is about... second, man, so distracted actually. I didn't think this through, did I? So it's about how my childhood friend kind of pimped out his sister. I don't want to say pimped out his sister, but pawned out his sister. Just, oh, what's this? Hey, I've seen that action before. Isn't that like what Kratos does? Okay, but yeah. So my friend pimped his sister out to me just so that he could play with my PSP. So this was back when I was in the 8th grade, or 8th standard as you like to call it in India. And I was one of the only guys, I was the only guy in my friend circle in my neighborhood who had a PSP, and no one had seen a PSP at that time, because it was like really rare. Like not many people had PlayStations, or let alone a PSP. So I was one of the few guys who had a PSP there. And what happened was everyone would come to my house to play on the PSP, and I had this one friend who was part of our friend group and our friend circle, and this guy wanted to play on my PSP so bad that one day, actually, in fact, it wasn't completely his fault as well. So to get to where we are going in my story, we first have to go down to why it went down that way. So basically, I won't talk during the cutscenes.
I'm gonna hang your head on the wall.
Well, you think you're a big shot, do you? Right. So when I was in 8th grade, I had a crush on my now wife, and it was a really big crush, and I couldn't really get over her. So, so for some reason, I always would, I not always would. Sorry, I need to focus on this gunfight. What's this new low? Sharpshooter. Okay, so these guys are the sharpshooters. Okay, that's alright. Not very sharp according to me. More like dull shooters. Get it? Because they're not. You get it, right? So basically, what happened was, so I had this huge crush, huge crush, like literally, like and I was like this introvert kid, introvert in front of her, not anybody else. So introvert in front of her, and for some reason I couldn't even get myself to speak to her. So what I would, so I was like, okay, to forget about her, I'm gonna ask this girl from my friend circle out, and she was like my neighborhood friend. So we had like school friends, and he had like neighborhood friends. So she was part of my neighborhood friend circle. And what happened was, her brother is this guy I'm talking about, basically, who's my friend, who was part of like the boys. And what happened was, one day we went to his house for like not a lunch, a sort of a lunch get together, because it was like one of these festivals in India, and then he invited us because it was like a Hindu festival and he was Hindu. So he invites me over, and funny enough, I tell him over there, like we were watching a movie and stuff, and we all sat together over there. And during the movie, I tell him, I'm like, hey yo, I think I like your sister. And this was just because I wanted to get over the crush of my of my now wife. I wanted to get over that crush, and I knew it wasn't going to crush because my wife at that time. I mean, my wife. My wife. Let's just call. I don't remember my wife. Let's just say, like, yeah, my wife at that time had a boyfriend. So I was like, fuck it, it ain't gonna work out between us. So I'm like, let me just date my friend's sister. Date her. And then I thought my friend would help me out, like talk to her, and then you put in a good word for me, But then what happens is, he gets super excited. And I was like, why is this dude super excited to literally let me, like, any guy out there would be like, hey man, that's my sister you're talking about, and things like that. But then this guy gets super excited. And I'm like, why is this dude super excited to literally pimp out I don't say pimp out his sister, but like, like to set me up with his sister. And then the next thing he says to me, he's like, don't worry, man, I got you. I'm gonna, you know what? There's a room next door over there. Why don't you go? I'm going to tell her to go there, and that I want to talk to her, but then I won't go. Then you go talk to her. And I was like, okay, fine, fair enough. Yeah, that sounds like that. And he says to me, and then the next thing he says to me is, hey, by the way, can I play with your PSP tonight? Like he wanted to borrow it and play that, and nobody had ever asked me that before. And I'm like, sure, yeah, I don't see why not, yeah. And then I realized, man, this dude literally sold his sister out to me for my PSP, and then I ended up going out with a sister on like a couple of not couple of days, maybe just one date or something. I wouldn't even call it a date because we were kids that time, and it was like we just hung out once. Like we went for the ride together on individual bicycles, and like as you do as kids. And after that day I was like, yo, this ain't right, this ain't right. And I never really liked her. It was just to get over the crush of my now wife. And I realized I couldn't get over that crush, so I ended up just ghosting her, which in fact was a bit dick move on me. It was a dick move on my part because I just ghosted her without even giving an explanation. I just told, and the reason I ghosted her was like, she just calls me up one day and she's like, hey, you didn't show up to play today in like the neighborhood, and then is everything all right? And I was like, how could a girl just ask me if I'm all right without my permission or something? I was like weird that time.
You seeing this too? Take it off.
Mr. Rentier, on a first date? What do you take me for?
You're right. Maybe a little light to set the mood.
No need. I see it now. Of course. Glamour. I'm on it.
Today, Chester.
Please, I need to concentrate. It's not that easy to sever the illusion from its source.
What's the source?
You don't want to know. Sanguis Eternus.
Well, I'll be damned.
Right, so that's the story of how my friend pimped out his sister to me just for my PSP. And then, funny enough, I ended up cutting ties with that friend too because I felt that was a bit weird, like this thing. But again, we were kids, so now that I think about it, I would I would have done the same. But I mean, a PSP in those days was like a huge deal because I remember I had like Tekken, I had Dragon Ball Z, I had what are the games that I had? A couple of. Oh shit. Yeah, so I had a bunch of different games actually. I had like Tekken. I had which other game? Man, and Tekken in those days, yeah, they had that girl. What's her name? With Eddie, the girl with Eddie Christie. Man, the outfit she wore in that game. Whew. And back when you're when you're a kid and you see the man, that was like I was like feeling things I never knew I could feel. But yeah, that was a crazy game. I think he wanted it mainly for that game. I had like WWE, I had Dragon Ball Z, I had an which other game did I have? I had a couple of different games. Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo was a really nice game. I remember that was a really amazing game. And for those of you who didn't know, like me and my cousin brother, I don't know if many people knew this, but we found a way to play Dragon Ball Z.
It's hard to compete against the species that keeps on growing and advancing with their technology, creating new and more dangerous weapons of war and other engineering marvels. As I see it, the real struggle is nature versus technology, instinct versus genius. We have allowed those naturally subordinate to us to transform themselves from prey into predators. If we don't alter this trajectory, eventually they will murder us all.
That's an interesting take. In a way, that's true though. I mean, we as humans have fucked up the environment and stuff, so yeah. So yeah. What was I saying? I forgot. Oh yeah, so me and my cousin brother, when I went to visit him once, he's the one who gave me his Dragon Ball Z. I don't know which one it was, but it was a really nice Dragon Ball Z game that he gave me. And he had like loads of Dragon Ball Z parts at that time, so he gave me this Dragon Ball Z game of his. And he showed me a trick where you'd load up the game on one CD, on one PSP, and then you take out the CD while the game's still loading, you put it in the other PSP, load it up, and then you'd switch on the wireless play mode where you could game with other people. And what you would do is you would have the game present on now both PSPs, and you could literally have like you could play like you could battle each other, And that's what we would do. We would literally just battle each other. And that would be so much fun because you just have to go against the AI and stuff. But over here, it's like you could battle real people. So I would do that with my friends. And speaking about like another interesting story I remember was, oh, that's nice. What's this? Dealing damage with gauntlet, reduce the cooldown of the healing dispenser. Oh, that's interesting. I think that's the only one I can unlock. Can't unlock this, can I? Oh, can I? Oh no, it wants me to unlock this. So the healing dispenser, okay. So, okay, understood. Ooh, man, that was ugly. But yeah, so when I had my again, this is like then in school. So what happened was this was in ninth grade. So again, the PSP was still a big deal and stuff, and not many people had it. Ooh, look at this. So what I would do is I would take my PSP to school because my friend at that time, he would nudge me to get it. And what we would do is we had this geography class, and in geography, what we would do is we would literally sit in the last, like we were the backbenchers, so we would sit in the last bench or desk, and we'd have this thing called topographic maps, where it was literally like this huge map, that would cover your face, like it would literally cover your upper torso. Like, trust me, if it's like reading a newspaper, that map was that huge. And what we would do is we would literally hold up that map, keep it on our desks in front of us, and have the PSP behind the map, and we would literally game during the entire class, and the teacher wouldn't even know. Like, I don't know how she would not even know. But yeah, those were some of the best memories in school. Cause, oh shit. But yeah, those were some of the best memories in school I remember. And then, and the teacher wouldn't even know a thing. Like we'd be that sneaky and play the game. And his friend, he loved the PSP so much that he in fact gave me money to go buy another game so that he could play a different game. So I was like, all right, let me go. And then I remember buying the Darkstalker Chronicles. Oh man, that game. Whee. I mean, yeah, you had pixelated characters, but still, though, I mean, some of the chicks in that game, man. But yeah, that was a long time ago, man. Whew. Brings back some good memories. So the PlayStation is truly near and dear to me because I had a friend who had the PlayStation 1. I remember playing. We played Tomb Raider. We played. Can't remember. I think there was a Jurassic Park game. I don't remember. Like this, long time ago. But there were some really nice games on there, and okay. So he had that game, and I mean he had the PlayStation 1. I think he had another game as well. I don't remember if it's James Bond or what, but he had a couple of games on that we would play, and everyone you knew everyone was at his place because whoa, it's a upside down pyramid, wow. And everyone's bicycles would be outside that friend's house, so we would know like, oh, everyone's here, so we would just go there. Oh man. All right. So yeah, then after that, I think in our friend circle, I was the first dude to get the PS2. And funny thing is, we went to actually get a keyboard for me because when I say keyboard, I mean the musical instrument keyboard. So we went to get that one for me. And when we went to get that, my parents were like, a piano. I don't know why they call it keyboard. Or is it called keyboard? I don't know. In India, we used to call it the keyboard. Oh shit. Man. Oh shit. Don't do this, bro. Yeah, so I was the second guy to get. I mean, I was the first guy to get the PS5. I mean, fuck, I'm mixing up my shit. Okay. So I was the first guy to get the PS2 in our friend circle, and like I said, we went to buy a piano, and when we were getting the piano, my parents were in a really good mood because like I got good grades. I think that time I was in like the fifth or sixth grade. I don't remember. Yeah, fifth grade I think, and they said that you've been doing really good, so we want to reward you, and they said, okay, we'll get you a keyboard for you to learn during your summer holidays. But then I was like, but you guys did say you were going to buy me like anything I wanted as well too. So I said yeah. They said yeah. So I said, can we get a PlayStation? Actually, in fact, they were going to buy me an Xbox, and I would never have bought a PlayStation ever. I would have been like an Xbox fanboy. And for some reason, over there where we bought the keyboard from the same electronics store, they were selling a PlayStation, and this was like a shady place, like not a shady place, but this was like a place where everybody bought everything from. Like they sold everything, like mobile phones, everything, but it was like a low-key electronics store. And he had a PlayStation there, and I was like, I'll take the PlayStation 2. And this was like a cracked PlayStation 2. So I was like, damn. And I got like game CDs for like what was that, like 30-40 rupees, like let's say max 100 rupees, that's it. So 100 rupees would have been like, what's 100, so $1 is 70 rupees. So you imagine like $1 you get a game CD for.
Internal divisions have weakened us. Our numbers dwindle while their numbers grow. But it's not too late. We can still survive. But to do so, we must be ready to adapt. We cannot be too proud to evolve.
Right. And then the first game I remember getting on that was Bionicle Heroes. I got 007, the PS Brosnan one. And then I had the Hitman Blood Money game. And that game was, man, ooh. That was, I think that was like one of the best games I had. Hitman Blood Money. Hitman Blood Money, like I said, one of the best games I had at that time. And I think even Bionicle Heroes was a good game. I liked Bionicle Heroes as well. But yeah, that was a really nice game as well. And again, because I had a PS2, all my friends would come over to my place and game with me, and those were some good days, man. Prince of Persia, that game, man. Prince of Persia, Warrior Within, Two Thrones.
The wolves go hungry. Yes. But the day is coming when the sheep will
Hey yo, who done you like that, bro? Yeah, what's up with the haircut?
The humans have harnessed the power of steam and lightning, and they grow mighty. If our hubris allows us to grow fat and lazy in the shadows, they will soon have the power to hunt us down like dogs. War suggests there is a chance we might lose. I propose we strike with my new asset. We can control, change, reclaim the Sanguisuju's rightful place at the top of the food chain. Control change. Don't. These are blasphemous times. While my methods may very well be at variance with our tradition, I can tell you one thing. If we don't adapt, we will perish. Enough. I won't allow your past to lead us into annihilation. Peter Dalala, for the high crime of conspiracy against your own kind, I sentence you and your line to return to death.
I told you, Father. They wouldn't listen.
We had to drive this Mikada. Our work will be a lot easier if we can help them understand. If we can't,
We force them to.
What did you think was gonna happen? That's gonna be a vampire. Yeah, my boy's here. My homeboy. Oh shit. Oh shit. Man, that was close. Look at my health. That was a good boss fight though, not gonna lie.
Think you could have brought a better knife?
Some people gotta go and watch when they retire. I got Susan here.
Ooh, what's he gonna do?
Should have asked him to get out of here.
Too late. He won't be of any use for a month or two. Wait. What about Chester?
Well, what are you gonna do?
That is how you shape an explosion. Damn, you're late.
Yeah, at least we won't be going back to the manor empty-handed. Oh, I'll be damned. That's a new way to spend taxpayers' money.
James Harrow. The people's hero. I heard the White House sends him golden toilet paper. As long as he keeps the presidential ass clear of tick trouble. Feed him well. We've got a lot of ground to cover tonight.
You gonna stay for the presentation? The whole institute is in town.
I'll pass on the corporate backpatting session. I don't need another retirement lecture. Here, take this to your father before it wakes up and starts cursing us all to high hell.
Great. So I'll just tell him you've traded killing vampires for swilling cheap bourbon.
Tell him whatever you want.
Fine. Skip the presentation. But you ain't getting away from the final drink with me afterwards.
Can I unlock anything else? No. Oh, okay. So, I'll end the video over here, guys. And when I see you next time, we'll continue where we left off. Until then, take care, have fun, enjoy life. Bye-bye.